Alright, hello friends, my name is Schrient and it's time to check out A Pinch of Magic. It's a visual novel that's on Steam for free and I thought I'd give it a try. It looks really cool. But hope you enjoy and here goes. What is your name? Schrient. Wow, typing. Let's see. She, her. Oh yeah, so you can pick your character. Like a guy, girl. Have whatever pronouns you want. I like her hair. It's very cute. Oh, that return started it. Okay. I let a freeing... Oh, that's a yawn. I let out a freeing yawn as I leapt down from the bus onto the pavement below, bags in hand. Finally made it. Drinking the familiar surroundings, I took a moment to execute some quick squats. The brisk exercise, exactly what my compressed muscles ordered, all stiff from the several-hour-long bus ride from the city to the sea. I wonder this how Jack and the boxes feel when they pop out. Newly energized, I extend my arms to the tropical sun, to pluck it down the sky, from the sky and take it in a greedy lungful of delicious sea air. As always, the warm climate here in the coast feels as though it welcomes me back home, back to the place where I belong. I've missed this, all of it, and ahead of me is a summer-long period of peace and respite. I'm just graduated high school, and from now on, there'll be no parents, teachers, or peers reminding me with every breath that I'm waiting to the end of my teenage years with no direction. Just the sun, the sea, and this place. My destination, the tranquil seaside town of Linsdale. Nestled in a quiet, crescent-shaped cove on the coast and licked by the starry deep blue waves of the East Sea, some people have taken to affectionately naming and nicknaming it Moon Bay. A pretty occultic name, all things considered. But it always seemed perfectly apt because it's also the town my grandmother, my Baba, calls home, and she just so happens to be... I knew it, a witch. An exceptionally and obsolete eccentric witch. All these years later, I still wouldn't put it past her to coin Moon Bay herself just because it might help drum up business amongst the magic folk. For the first time in 3 years, she asked me to visit this summer, and I can't wait to resume my magic training. My fingers electrified already, tingling at the prospect. I reached in the pocket of my hoodie, feeling for the letter she sent, making sure it's still there. Cursive on vellum and a wax seal, yep, nobody except that willy old woman would write like this anymore. There's no time like the present. Unable to hide my eagerness to see her again, I hoist my bags up to my shoulders and take off at a sprint up the staircase, leaving the bus stop far behind. I like her art style, it's really cool. And once I leap across the threshold of the stairways in, I see the sight I've longed for and open my lungs wide. Hello! Coffee, curiosities, I'm home! My grandmother's cafe stands before me, a static monument among the other buildings, utterly unchanged, like a moment in time perfectly preserved the way I always remembered it. It reminds me of my childhood, of iced tea in summer, sea salt ice cream, sea salt ice cream, yes, and freer days spent under Baba's tutelage. That in itself is a rare kind of magic that leaves me spellbound. Naturally, my peppy cry draws the attention of several passerbys outside the store, and even recognize me and wave in greeting. Wow, fall beef, it isn't Schrient. It's been a spell since you've been back. Still kept that strange habit of greeting the cafe like it's a person, I see. Well, she's not wrong. I guess I'm a little old to be shouting in public. But as Baba used to say, a witch breathes magic and life into all things. Every word is a charm, every sentence a spell. Now that I think about it, it is totally possible she was just hoodwinking an extremely gullible 5-year-old, but, well, it's a cute tradition, so who cares? I wave energetically back. Hey there, it's good to see you again. Do you know if my grandmother's about? That question seems to give her pause, and she forces a smile which can only be read as guilty embarrassment. Oh, you mean she... Well, I'm not too sure. Haven't been in for a coffee in a while, you see. Nice seeing you, kid. Okay. Before I have a chance to respond, she scuttles off over the hill, leaving me stranded in confusion at the shop door. Okay. What in the hemlock was that all about? Hemlock? Okay. Glancing over at the cafe again, my eyes narrow suspiciously and roam up and down the building. I finally notice the extremely telling clue. It's the height of morning, and yet the curtains are shut tight, fishy or still how quiet it is. Wait, don't tell me. Why is it closed? Oh, wait. Like really closed. I practically kicked the door down in my provoked state, and once inside, all the suspicions are confirmed. Not only are the lights all switched off, not only are there no customers, not only has the door clearly been left unlocked with complete disregard to nasty draughts, thieves, or trespassers, but on top of that, Baba is nowhere to be found. Baba, where are you? The lingering, mingled fragrance of sweet teas and bitter coffee simply catches me off guard, filling my nose and mind of happy memories, but I quickly remember why I'm here. I stomp across the cafe floor at big strides, making a beeline for the door at the far end of the room. A door hidden behind a messy, heavy satin curtain. Why did I say messy? And bewitched to be invisible to all non-magic customers. Baba! Baba! Oh, it's like pink in there. I like it. I stopped dead in my tracks. In the secret room, piled floor to ceiling with mystical objects, is Baba's crystal ball table. A table radiating with memories of afternoons sitting in her lap, poring over dirty, dusty tomes, and having the wonders of magic whispered in my ear. And now on that table, clearly waiting my arrival, a small paper ornament, an enchanted letter folded into the shape of a miniature rabbit. Oh, it's a rabbit! When I enter the room, it turns up its ears and bounds up from its slumber, hopping to the table's edge to greet me. I would recognize this magic anywhere. Baba would while away hours folding these critters for me as I studied, until she had gifted me the entire animal kingdom out of paper, never failed to put a smile on my face. Which only means she's buttering me up for some unsavory news. I skeptically scoop up the paper rabbit in my hand, and at the touch of my fingers upon its nose, it unravels itself. Sure enough, my grandmother has inked a note in cursive inside. My dearest Schrient, I have run away. Since I was the one who invited you to stay with me this summer, I'll venture that this will come as a shock to you. It wasn't part of my plan, but running the cafe was beginning to feel rather droll. Then I remembered. It's mugwort season, and also that the witch folk are hosting a mushroom baking festival in the mountains, much less drolly by far. Do not come searching for me. Write to me, though, if you want me to bring you back some mugwort, otherwise I'll bring you nothing. Take care of the place while I'm gone. P.S. I hope you have money. The pantry is empty. Wow, Baba, that's harsh. I knew it. That wayward old witch. Lumping onto one of the table's squishy cushions, I throw my arms up in defeat. Absolutely should have expected this. Flying through life by the seat of her pants, living by her every whim, dropping things when they no longer suit her. This entire situation reaches into far reaches of my mind, conjuring up echoes of countless other past examples of how mercurial Baba could be. Mercurial? How do I say that word? Closing up at noon to go skinny dipping in the ocean. What? Baba, what? Hosting a two-hour party? Then passing out after an hour on her own deadly magic punch. Her crimes of capriciousness knew no bounds. She may have taught me everything I know of magic, but early on I had to master brewing tea and coffee, not just potions, just to keep this place running smoothly. It suddenly dawns on me exactly why that passerby acted so suspiciously. I bet she cut and ran days ago, told everyone in town not to breathe a word. Yep, sounds about right. No matter how you cut it, she's just running from her responsibilities again. I actually have no clue how she managed to keep this place running all these years. Seriously. No matter how you cut it, she's just running from her responsibilities again. I actually have no clue how she managed to keep this place running all these years. My lips press themselves into a thin, stubborn line. Mugwort tea is my favorite, though. I guess it's time to go shopping. With your own money. An hour or so later, I've made begrudgingly progress on the cafe's sorry state. With the door now locked and the curtain still tightly drawn, I make use of the privacy by enchanting Baba's dustpan and Brimman setting them to work on the floor. They whiz about the room in a waltz, making quick work of any dust or grime in their bath. Nice. After a brief inspection, all that remains in the fridge is a oh no, curled bottle of milk. So expired. The pantry cupboards have also been harboring nothing but dust, but was saved earlier by a trip to the local supermarket. Rest in peace, poor wallet. Luckily, it also seems the cafe's more expensive wares are in plentiful stock. The exotic plethora of tea leaves and underground coffee beans have been safely stored in bags or dry containers. The siphons, mills, and other apparatus too are in good working order. Knowing Baba's devil-may-care attitude, the situation here could have been far worse. I should count my blessing she didn't leave me rats inside those stacks. That moment, as if my words had personally infinite her efforts, Baba's cat slinks into the room and up onto the counter to glare at me. There you are, Hannibal, of which is familiar reduced to a rather rat catcher. How the mighty have fallen in the wrong hands. But since you don't have anything better to do, if you see me about, you be sure to let me know. When I reached across the counter and squished beneath her neck, she forgets her grumpiness in a heartbeat and pads off into the bedroom for an afternoon nap. With the dustbin and broom soon done with their work, I thank them for their service and quickly finish putting the cupboards in order. After a satisfying stretch, I pull back the curtains to survey the place triumphantly. Watch out, Linsdale, we're back in business. Sitting there with my hands on hips, it's a funny feeling that courses through my chest. A kind of liberation and pride that comes from being free to want Emily's spellcast for the first time in a painfully long while. I miss it even more than I thought I would. Not too rusty though, thankfully. Now then, the last port of call is to flip that sign, and after that, I guess it's time to brew some criminally delicious coffee. But as soon as I step outside, I pause. My senses are once more splashed by the salty air, the sun's warmth, and the far-off songs of a soaring flock of seagulls. And in my line of sight, the sea itself, a shimmering crystal blue expanse, calling me back to its edge. Well, I've worked pretty hard, if I do say so myself. Just a little stretch of the legs beforehand couldn't hurt. And so, with slow, meandering strides, I cross the pavement and pace down the small stone staircase heading for the beachfront. Oh, I like the beach. Let's look. It's cute. I take my tan, enjoying the afternoon breeze and journey all the way to the boardwalk and beyond. When I reach the beach edge, I slide off my shoes and press on free and barefoot in the sand. It softly envelops my feet as I walk, like a floor made of satin. The waves, too, are like rolls of crystalline satin sheets being unraveled into the shore, rolling over rock shells and themselves and gently slipping back into their source. As ever, Moon Bay, almost too perfect for words. I plop myself down in the sand, stretching out my legs and searching along the water surface for something. I wonder if she's still out there. Before I continue that thought, the phone in my back pocket hums. When I retrieve it, I see several texts coming from my parents. The messages cascade simultaneously into the group chat, making it plainly obvious they both sitting beside each other, typing a joint agenda. Did you arrive safely? You forgot to text us. We were worried. How's Baba? Is she doing well? How's her back? And there it is. I sigh, typing back my regular response whenever they awkwardly attempt to bring her up. If you're that worried, you could always, try talking to her yourself, Dad. I'm sure she'd like to hear from you, from both of you. After a brief exchange, ending I love yous all around, I fling my phone to the side and fall back onto the sand bed. The history between my parents and Baba was fractured, to say the least. In this world, with so few people as gifted with the ability to wield magic, we hide what we are for an easier life. Hundreds of years ago, those who felt the gift feared us, persecuted us, and worse. The world was messy. The witch folk decided almost unanimously that it was better to fade into anonymity than could cause trouble. Nowadays, as far as the rest of the normal society is concerned, it's known that we exist out there somewhere, but rarely do you see a witch shouting it from the rooftops. Despite the good I know we do, there's no glory in it at all. So, as for my parents and Baba, well, Baba always has been an immensely talented witch. The first time I was sent here to stay with her for the summer, I was 3. She taught me a few simple spells. Even though I could barely speak, I guess I was a natural. I still remember her sweeping me up when I successfully levitated a paperclip. She was so giddy, it was impossible for her to contain herself. But my parents were different. They never taught me magic, never encouraged me to learn it. All they wished for me was utterly normal life. They asked Baba to stop teaching me, and that was that. Or so they thought. When they found out, I'd flown in the face of their disapproval, and they'd secretly been studying hard in Baba every summer for 10 years. Oh boy. Oh wow. Remember that day, Dad's face when a shade of blue I didn't know was possible outside of being hexed. After that, the relationship became strained. They stopped talking. It became their mediator, their owl, ferrying messages back and forth. I stopped visiting Linsdale for a while to give them all time to cool off. A normal life, a boring life, devoid of magic. I felt empty just at the thought of it, but honestly, I don't really have the first clue about what I want to do in the future. Only witch folk didn't have to hide who they were. Or they are. As I raised myself back up to hug my knees, I realized that I had been absentmindedly dragging a finger to the sand all this time. I've drawn nothing remotely artistic, of course, just a badly bunch of drawn swirls that barely resemble shapes at all. These are almost as terrible as Kaya's. A spark ignites a recollection in my mind, a spark which sends me flying back to before I'd been interrupted by my parents' messages, back to thoughts of a friend from long ago. My eyes meet the sea again. It's Kia's home. My childhood friend, who had been as much a part of the summers in Linsdale as my grandmother. She was an extraordinary person in her own right, a mermaid who befriended a witch. Oh, a mermaid, really? You want to see her? Shy and a little fumbling in the beginning, she barely grasped human language. Kia was just about the only sound she could make. We communicate by drawing shapes in the sand, and though hers were terrible, I got pretty good at deciphering them. I could still clearly remember our first meeting, here on the shore. I was 5. Mom and Dad had just asked Baba to stop teaching me magic, and I was wailing into the ocean at the top of my lungs. And it was only once my tears had dried up that I noticed a curious baby mermaid who snuck away from home to investigate the surface, was peering at me through the waves. As I reminisced, a smile spreads across my face. Yeah, that's right. I wonder if she and her family even still swim in these waters. But for new purpose, I leap up and dust myself off. I tread up and down the beach, scanning the waves for any sign of movement, but unsurprisingly, I don't find a trace of her anywhere. There isn't a fin in sight. Well, that'll teach me to be willfully optimistic. As if mermaids would ever venture this close to shore, they'd be found out in a heartbeat. Still, I haven't exhausted the tricks up my sleeve just yet. Determined, I set off up and down the beach once again, this time with my eyes to the sand, scoring the golden floor for a particular object. And finally, wedged between some barnacled rocks, I found exactly what I'm looking for, a prismatic conch, shimmering and waiting to touch. And more importantly, in the hands of a witch, it's a horn that, when blows, can sing a song only a mermaid could hear. It was an ancient spell Baba had taught me as a child, used by the old witches in times to strive to call mermaids to their aid. And together, Key and I had repurposed it. Since the day we met, it had been my way of communicating to her, I'm here, I want to see you. Well, I suppose that's only one way to find out if she's still out there, listening for me. As a precaution, I spun around checking for onlookers, but this corner of the beach is deserted. So, reaching to the recesses of my mind, with the ancient spell, I pluck out its melody, note by note, whisper my request to the shell at my fingertips. Out of the way is my bottomless heart be, a notion of love built just for thee. And if thou art astray and far away foam, the song of my sea will call you home. Oh, sweet. As the conch begins to gleam, I gather my breath and blow gently into its tip. But no matter how many times I call, Kia doesn't appear. The waves simply keep rolling over the sand at my feet, slowly soaking in and causing me to sink. So she has left in search of somewhere better after all. No Baba, and no Kia. This truly was shaping to be a pretty miserable summer, and the pain I felt in my chest is sudden but not unexpected. 2 years ago, when I said goodbye and left Linsdale, I didn't know it would be the last time. I didn't get a chance to tell her. Somewhat sad, my shoulders dropped a little. She was a little timid and unsure of herself. I wonder if she waited every summer for me to come back, and I never did. But never once to let sadness get the better of me for long, I clapped my cheeks together. At the very least, I know that right now, what I can do is see her off with a smile. I'm sorry, Kia, but I hope wherever you are, you're swimming happy. And that your drawings don't suck anymore. After exhaling my feelings cathartically into the afternoon air, I turn heel and head back towards the stairs. It's time to open the cafe for the evening. As my head swims with thoughts of coffee beans, recipes, and measurements, I forget to check for obstacles in my path before I know it. Ah! I collide with someone else. Hello, beautiful woman. Oh, I'm so sorry. Please excuse me. The moped has successfully knocked me down a stair or two, but as I shake off the pain, her eyes meet mine. Her golden irises, her amethyst hair, everything about her beauty is dazzling, and it temporarily catches me off guard. But I'm grateful she seems unharmed. I run my fingers through my hair, somewhat embarrassed. Not at all, I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention either. Are you alright? Yes, Her quiet voice quickly trails off, but she continues to stare at me with great intensity, looking me up and down with wide eyes. That's right, the cafe. Don't have to be wasting here. I flash her a polite smile and shooting back up the hill, excuse myself. Oh, I'm sorry again. Have a nice evening. I wonder if that's going to be Kia. She seems like a timid, beautiful lady. She could be a mermaid who changed to human, but who knows? Who knows? Large leaping strides bring me back to the cusp of the hill in record time. With the afternoon sky already fading into an orange glow, evening is practically here. I have no concrete grasp of how long Baba's cafe has been closed since she cut and run, but there's one thing I know for certain, that I don't want to keep the Linso patrons waiting any longer. It's funny, if I let slip that Baba's irresponsibleness is what put me into this mess in the first place. I'm actually excited. Rushing about, serving special blends, putting smiles on customers' faces. It was difficult at first, maybe, but I grew to love it. Positive vibes, right? Maybe this will be a good summer after all. With renewed energy, I begin to mentally roll up my sleeves. But just around the corner, pleasant sight makes my newly boiled mood sink faster than a stone anchor. What the? Directly outside the cafe, pulled unceremoniously up into the curb, is a garish red sports car. It's brand new and clearly far too expensive to belong to any resident of Linsdale. Are you serious? What sort of self-centered idiot parks their car square in the front of a shop entrance? Already ticked off, I watched the elderly man with a cane struggles to shuffle through the gap in the pavement, gasping at the cafe wall for support. He gets his revenge as he passes by, though, flipping the bird to the car's tinted windows as he goes. You go, Grandpa. And as if any doubts that this gaudy ride would spell trouble, they're blown away as soon as the driver steps outside. A tall blonde fop in sunglasses and a jean jacket slams the door behind himself, yawning loudly. Leaning back lazily onto the car roof, he slips his sunglasses up onto his hairline and clicks his tongue to the elderly man's back. I'm about to storm but give him peace of my mind when he pulls out his phone, the latest model it looks like, and begins snapping up landscape shots of the cafe. What? Ahem, may I help you? Letting his free hand casually into his back pocket, he turns to flash me a smile. It's so not cute. Blonde fop. Are you the owner? I squirt my shoulders as much as humanly possible, arms folded crossly. Yes, I am. Name's Schrient, and don't appreciate you blocking the door my customers use. Customers? He cockily raises eyebrows and looks around on the now very empty street. He pulls down his sunglasses once or twice in a mocking motion. Well, how about that? I guess my prescription's wrong, because I don't see a single soul sniffing around. Looks like what you've been here is a bona fide dead spot. Dead spot? You better not be insulting my cafe. Another condescending smile slowly stretches across his face. He's clearly looking down on me and doesn't care to provide any kind of answer. He just continues on, ignoring my question. Not an insult, per se. It just so happens it's exactly the sort of place I'm looking for. With a twinkle in his eye, he straightens up and spins his phone into both hands. His whole demeanor changes and begins typing on the screen with lightning speed. So what's your specialty here? Cafe Cubano, Chinese teas, matcha? You serve something other than salty tap water, I assume. Sure, there's a bottle of rancid milk in the fridge with your name on it. Yes, all those things. We got some backwater cafe that only serves standard drip swill. So you run this place with someone else? My grandmother. She's not here right now. Uh-huh. What's this place called? Are you freaking kidding me? Look at the darn sign, poster boy. I sigh loudly and dramatically. Café Curiosities. Curiosities. His fingers pause tapping for a moment. He takes the time to raise a smug eyebrow at me. Right, bravo. No, really. It's inspired. A little desperate, only slightly nauseating. He stands up straight and takes one more large, gulping glance at the cafe's facade. Then he flips his phone and snaps a headshot of my startled face. Dang, he's rude. Perfect blend. The material for my blog, that is. Your blog? He gives me a look that is equal parts smug and pitying. It's perhaps the most punchable expression I've ever seen. You have no idea who I am, do you? Nope. Don't care to. Wait. But now that I get a really good look at him, he actually does look somewhat familiar. Here, a souvenir. Don't blend it now, it's premium embossed. With a wink, he slips a business card into my hand. Fancy gold script sells out cuisine blogger and the name Mikhail. Thanks. Guess I'll use it when I run out of toilet paper. I snap the card from his fingers, making sure to look thoroughly unimpressed as I do. The stormy veneer cracks just a little at that. Charmed, I'm sure. Now then, let's hope your coffee as wildly lives up to my expectations, shall we? I can feel my blood boiling. The way that smirk plays at the edge of his mouth is perfectly obvious what his expectations are. Though I still can't place his face, I've read about bloggers just like him. Vindictive types, traipsing across the country, targeting coffee shops with small customer bases, searching for the worst of the worst, for the scathing reviews like sharks feasting on krill. For a second time I slide my gaze grimly over his red sports car, with its ostentatious wheels, shiny mirrors, and wax gleam. I suppose when you're scum of the surface of the industry, it doesn't matter if you destroy businesses wherever you go, as long as those clicks keep coming. Oh, he's not going to drag Baba's Cafe through the mud on my watch. So, here I am in the flesh, the only paying customer and all of that. I drove 2 hours from the city to find this place. Aren't you going to let me in? I shove the door and start to unlock it, but inwardly, the boiling blood is starting to boil over. I'm in no mood to play nice. In fact, just for the audacity of coming here and trying to mess up a witch's business, I'm pretty happy to just play a little dirty. Which will help us some magic. With my hand inconspicuously behind my back, I start to weave a spell in the air. I step towards him, all the while a sweet smile plastered on my face. Sure, I don't have a problem with that. You're welcome to try my coffee. Quickest way to get you off my property. But you might not want to step inside just yet because... I can, pick something. I am gonna save real quick, you know. Let's do a little prank. You left the handbrake off your car. Oh, what? He spins about just in time to see a shiny red ride slowly slipping back down the hill on loosened wheels. Oh no. Bianca? Bianca, come back. Bianca? I mean white. But his car is red. What are you doing? Mikhail spouts immediately, tripping over himself down the uneven cobbled street in pursuit. The car's moving so slowly. I'll manage. It's fine. Right? Bianca, ow. And down goes Mikhail like a sack of spuds. His face acquaints itself with the pavement with a colossal clap. Oh no. Uh-oh. The car dude reaches a steep incline and starts to speed up. Nobody is going to catch it on foot now. I stretch out my arms, frankly inking a new magic circle in the airspace around me. Oh no, you're going to reveal yourself as a witch. But unable to cast reversal magic in time, the car careens into a lamppost. After a few teetering seconds, that lamppost tips forward, but thankfully stops just short of smashing into the roof. Oops. Oh no. Mikhail rushes forward and falls upon the car in misery like a man whose soul has been crushed. Bianca, my darling, no. Father's going to kill me. Uh-oh. It's not his car. Well, I didn't know her prank was going to be like that, but okay, it's pretty bad. If timing's so impeccable, I'm almost convinced I'd somehow cast a second spell. Mikhail's phone explosively starts to ring. On seeing the caller ID, the blood drains from its face. Father, it's good to hear from you. No, I'm fine. You're back from Hawaii? Well, yeah, of course I can. But, Father, about the car you bought me, well, see, it's a funny story. Oh no, I feel bad for him now. Haven't you forgotten me, Mikhail? Woefully shuffles away out of earshot to take the phone call. That wasn't my fault, right? Yeah, it actually was your fault. I mean, she didn't expect that. I didn't expect that. I thought it was gonna be I thought she was gonna throw water at him or something. Not knock his car into the lamppost. Nah, accidents, right? Not vandalism, just an accident. Yep, nothing to worry about. And so, mostly smug, yet just so ever so slightly regretting my influence of the certain event, I had the opportunity to back away through the cafe door, swinging the side open along the way. Well, I think I ruined my chances with him. Oh, no one there. The minutes and the tens of minutes painfully click by. Not a single potential customer steps inside or even hazards to peek through the windows. I start by leaning over the counter, head in palms, alternating between watching the clock, hands on the bell above the door. I quickly get bored and my twitchy hands tap the counter, searching for something to do. Mikhail's business card is nearby, exactly where I'd thrown it earlier, so I retrieve it and twirl it about absentmindedly. Huh, let's find out how famous this guy really is. Oh, seriously? A quick phone search pulls up hundreds of results. Blog posts with hits into the tens of thousands, sponsorship ties to the predominant worldwide cafe chain Moonbucks. Moonbucks. Not Starbucks, Moonbucks. A hefty follower base on social media and even a narcissistic modeling portfolio, monochrome shirtless photographs. Just great, as if I don't have enough problems right now. Ah, what's with those pictures? He's dripping wet in half of them. Did someone turn the hose or something? So stupid. Now more irked than ever, I chuck my phone aside and go back to watching the clock. All this inactivity is doing nothing except stiffening my muscles and making me anxious. 30 minutes and not a whiff of anyone, not even one of the regulars. This can't be right. I recall my previous summers here, where there was always non-magics and witch folk about, mingling, joking, shooting friendly banter back and forth with Baba. Back then our cafe never seemed wanting for patrons. Each day a steady stream of satisfied customers would come and go at an even pace. It's never been busy, but it was comfortable. I guess the old thing is closed right now. You gotta advertise, it's open. Sure, it's unlikely there'd be a lot of witch folk making the trip right now. No doubt they're all up in the mountain top of Baba, picking mugwork and betting on drunken duels. But for there to be no magics around either? I glance back at the clock, disappointed by what I see. It's far too late now to be trying to pluck some customers off the street, but if I root around, there may be something of use laying around somewhere. So determined to be productive in some capacity, I trawl through some of the lower kitchen cupboards, hoping to find something to use to attract new customers in the morning. Sensing activity, Hannibal sinks in the kitchen and curls around my leg. With a pointed meow, she leads me to a hatch under a rug on the floor below one of the open cupboards. Nice, good job, Hannibal. Though it's actually been quite a while, so I am going to end this first episode here. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. That was not what I expected with Mikhail, but well, that was fun. Have an awesome day. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. I really appreciate it.